Great. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining on Zoom. I'm very excited that we have two incredible CASC alumni with us today, Amanda and Barack. Before we get started, if you guys want us to say hello to everyone, please feel free.
Hello, everyone. I'm Barack. Nice to meet you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda.
Great, thank you. And I thought you all could just quickly introduce yourselves so that they know who they're talking to. If possible, it would be lovely if you could have your camera on. I know sometimes that is not possible or is just not ideal, but if you can, it does help with when we have guests, just so we can see who we're talking to. So thank you for that, but I'll go ahead and just start with Rebecca, and then if you could just popcorn it over to the next person. Just if you could say your name and maybe your major.
Hi, I'm Becca. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm majoring in cognitive science with a concentration in decision and cognition. And I'll popcorn it over to Zoe.
Hi, my name is Zoe. I am a psychology major. I'll pop it over to Sophie.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm also a psychology major. I'll send it to Sierra.
Hi, I'm Sierra. I'm also unoriginally a psychology major, and I can't really see who all is in my phone. I will pop it over to Sienna.
Hi, I'm Sienna. I'm a sociology major. I'll popcorn to. Has Paulina gone?
No, we're good. Hi, I'm Paulina. I'm a sport management major, and I'll pass it to Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a biology, health, and society major. And I'll popcorn it over to Amelia.
Hi, everyone. My name's Amelia. I am an acting major, so theater kid right here. Has Rebecca gone? Okay. Let's popcorn it to Julia.
Hi guys, I'm Julia. I am studying public health sciences. And I'm sorry I can't have my camera on. I'm on Zoom on my phone, and for some reason it's not supporting that. I will popcorn to Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm a senior in the School of Information, so I'm studying on the information analysis track. And I will popcorn to, has Michaela gone yet?
Hi, I did not. My name is Michaela. I'm studying biomolecular science. I'm pre-dental. And is that all we were answering? Okay, perfect. Then I'll popcorn to Zoe. Oh, she already, okay, somebody else. Okay, Jaden.
Hi, I'm Jaden. I'm a BCN major, and I'll popcorn it to Suzanne.
Oh boy, I couldn't find the unmute button. Suzanne, I am majoring in econ, and I can popcorn it to Olga.
Hello, my name's Olga, and I'm majoring in BCN and Spanish. I'm sorry, if you haven't gone yet, could you raise your hand? I kind of lost track. Karina?
Hi, I'm Corinna. I am a BCN major, and I'll popcorn it to Amelia.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm a business major, and I think everyone's gone.
Was that everybody? If you haven't introduced yourself, go ahead and speak up. I think it was. Okay. Great. So I'm going to do a very short introduction of Amanda and Barack, and then I will ask them to introduce themselves. There we go. All right. So just a little bit about Barack. They were a superstar when they were part of CASC, and they were did a lot of volunteering while also, let me know if I'm getting this wrong at all, but also while they were pre-med, and they're currently working as an ER technician in Ypsilanti. And then Amanda was on the CASC board, another CASC superstar, and was studying neuroscience, as she was also a minor in CASC, and currently a research fellow at the National Institute of Health, living in Washington, D.C. And she will be also applying for medical schools this summer. And with that, I'm actually just going to ask for both of you to introduce yourselves. And so it's a two-part question. So if you could just a little bit about introducing yourselves, about like kind of what you studied, why you were at CASC, and what you're working on currently. And then if you could also answer, what do you feel like you've gained by being part of CASC, by being part of the CASC minor? Was there anything that you particularly enjoyed as part of the CASC experience? Or was there something that you found very helpful by being part of the CASC minor?
I can start first.
Great, sounds good. Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, so my name is Amanda. I graduated in 2023 and I was a neuroscience major at Michigan. And now, like Diana said, I'm a research fellow at the National Institute of Health, and I live in Washington, D.C., and I'm applying to medical school this summer. So next question was why the CASC minor. So I want to do the CASC minor because I was a science major in college, and I was like really interested in social justice and getting more involved in my community. And I thought the CASC minor was a great way to supplement that. I also really like talking to people that had different career paths and different things they wanted to go into. I thought it was really fun to meet like a lot of different students with different majors. And I think I learned a ton from my classes. A lot of them were discussion based, and I got to do a lot of different things that I never would have done in the science courses I took. So I'm super glad that I ended up being a CASC minor, and I think it's really helped me in my career so far.
Great, thanks, Amanda.
And then my name is Brock. Again, a pleasure to meet all of you guys. I just like Amanda also graduated in 2023. I majored in biology, health, and society, and obviously I minored in community action, social change. Woo! And coming out of undergrad, I started working as a clinical research coordinator at U of M, and it was really just a computer job. It wasn't really for me. And so I transitioned to this technician role at St. Joe's, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying being able to, work in an ER and like work with people every single day. And it's kind of really affirmed my decision to go into medicine, which is what I was using these 2 gap years for, I guess. And so I guess in my undergrad, the way I joined CASC was I was just having lunch and I saw a little flyer, and it spoke to me. I was really kind of lost, if that makes sense. And so just seeing like this idea of being engaged in my community was something that I was always like found really important, especially as a Muslim American. I had a really large family, and that was really important to me. And then I came to U of M and I was kind of isolated. And so I was looking to get more engaged in like these initiatives. And so I guess CASC was like gave me that space to really meet other people who were just as like socially aware, if that makes sense. Because at U of M, especially in academia, you find that there's a lot of different type of people. And so when you can find people who think, who care, if that makes sense, it really helps you kind of do better and thrive and feel more fulfilled. And I think that's what initially drew me to the minor. And then I started taking classes like Psych 325, Psych 211. I really love those classes that get you out into the real world, allow you to volunteer and work with like different communities, which was really cool. Like in Psych 325, I worked in Detroit at AIHFS, and that was really cool because I had never like been a part of like been able to observe how indigenous communities function and how they work and how they look like, especially in Detroit. And so that was really like eye-opening to how different people like experience this world. And it's, I feel like, made me a lot more empathetic and a lot more aware of why I want to go into medicine and the type of provider I want to be. And so I really enjoy that aspect of CASC that allows you to explore the world and be with like-minded people who care. So yeah.
Fantastic. Those are fantastic answers. Thank you both. And for those of you that aren't familiar, AIHFS is American Indian Health and Family Services. So the next question I wanted to ask is, and also after I ask this question, if I'll open it up to all of you so you can ask questions of folks that have been in the program and recently graduated. But I just was wondering, is there anything that you know now that you would have done differently? So this is like, do you have any advice for folks that are currently, that will be graduating soon? So is there anything that you kind of wish that you would have done either before you graduated or wish you would have known now that you're out there in the real world?
And I can go first on this question. So during my undergrad, I was really like involved with campuses on like organizations on campus. And it wasn't until my senior year that I started exploring like other opportunities off campus, which is kind of like really opened my like eyes to the real world, if that makes sense, and how organizing looks like in the real world before like going out into the real world. Because like once you're out here, man, it's hard to get involved. It really is. Like you have to actually actively search for it and actively try to engage with people. Whereas on campus, it's like everyone is already doing the work, if that kind of makes sense. So I'd say like, and it's difficult because a lot of you guys might be moving out to different cities or so, but try to get involved with organizations outside of U of M as well if you do have that opportunity and chance. It's something that really I enjoyed in my undergrad and that senior year and those in that last year. And so like for me, I got involved through DCERP, which was really cool. It wasn't a CASC program, but it's adjacent. And that really that also was a huge part of my undergraduate experience. So that's what I would that's my parting advice, I guess.
Yeah, I would definitely echo that. And to add on, I think one of the fears I had when I graduated was that I was in so many social justice spaces through like the organizations and through my minor that I was afraid that when I left and went to the real workforce and wasn't like a university student, I wouldn't be in those spaces anymore because I was like a science major and going into a science field. But I don't think that was true at all. I feel like where I work now, there's still a lot of social justice spaces and ways to get involved and like a lot of initiatives going on. And it's also been fun taking the knowledge that like I learned in school and like applying it here to people that might not know as much. So that's been something. And then to echo what Brock said about getting involved, it can seem harder, but there's still so many like nonprofits and organizations that exist completely outside of university settings. So I've started doing more volunteer work here around like the new community I'm part of. And it's cool to like get to meet new people, and there's just like so many ways to get involved. You just have to put a little more effort in than when you're a university student.
Great, excellent answers. Thank you both so much. I'm opening it up to everyone, all the students. What questions do you have for Amanda and Barack?
I see a question in the chat by Zoe. The thing I miss most about my time in CASC are advising sessions with Joseph, and he's great. So use him as much as possible, especially like if you have the chance to once you have the chance to take the capstone class, it's a lot of fun. He's a great guy. So I think he was one of my best friends, I guess, among the staff. So
yeah, for me, I was on the CASC board, and it was a lot of fun. I see some people from the CASC board, in this class, which is fun. But yeah, I missed that. I really enjoyed doing things like that. We remember we did like a random act of kindness day where we got to hand out little like goodie bags of people as a group, and that was just like super fun to see people smiling on like a random day. So I miss little moments like that.
Great. And I see that Suzanne has her hand up.
Yeah. So my question is like, where do you see like the learnings from CASC like most prevalent in like your life right now or your career right now? And like kind of maybe explain a little bit, or if there's something else like if you have like a moment where like, wow, like I like recognize that I got that from my CASC learnings or like being in CASC, like kind of elaborate on that too.
That's a great question, Suzanne. I guess for me, working as an ER technician, it's like the social safety net of healthcare in a way. And so in CASC, like especially with I keep going back to these classes like 325 and 211, but it's when you get to go into the real world and volunteer and then go back into an academic setting and understand the systemic issues that like create such underprivileged conditions for people, and then you go into the real world, you work in an ER and you see what brings people to the ER, like they can't afford a PCP or they're just having a difficult time finding a place for the night. You kind of become more empathetic because you understand the conditions that created these problems, if that makes sense. And so I guess that's what CASC like allowed me to do. It allowed me to really explore these social issues and become a more empathetic person. And so I think that's really important as well. Going into the real world is that we don't lose sight of why things are the way they are, and that we like understand that we don't live in a meritocracy, right? We're and so it's so important that we use these opportunities that we get from U of M, like an elite academic institution, to do good in the world. And I think that's what CASC really emphasized for me during my undergrad.
Yeah, for me, so I was like in a DEI session Zoom call thing that I'm doing at work right now, and we got placed into breakout rooms, and I was like having like a long conversation with someone in my breakout room. Was just one-on-one about like a DEI topic, and we were just like going back and forth and talking, and he was saying how he had never done a type of class like this before. It was like all new to him, but he was really interested in learning. And he actually like messaged me after and said like, thank you for like talking to me. And it was like really great to hear that perspective. And like, that was just really nice to hear how I could like kind of use some knowledge I learned basically exactly from my CAS classes, and just like have a short conversation with him and just like help us all educate ourselves in our work environment. So that was like really great. And then the second thing I would say is, so I live in Washington, D.C., but I grew up in Michigan. And I did like a lot of work in Detroit and stuff there, but I was like unfamiliar with this area. But there's like still like a lot of just like understanding the history of DC and like the different areas and like people there. I feel like using my CAS knowledge just like helped me educate myself about the history of DC and just like more critically think about like the areas I'm in and stuff. So that's also just been helpful.
Great, thank you. There's a question on the chat from Rebecca for both of you. What are things you do to fill your cup with things you're passionate about outside of work?
I can answer this. This is a great question, Becca. Thank you. Again, I think the biggest thing to avoid burnout is taking care of yourself, getting your sleep. I love sleep, but genuinely, like for me, I love playing soccer. So I do a lot of like soccer things. I still volunteer a lot. I feel like whenever I volunteer, it kind of resets my week and it kind of grounds me as well. So soccer and volunteering are the two big things for me, and then sleep.
Yeah, for me, I also like love playing sports and soccer, and I've done like a lot of casual sports here. But additionally, I've spent a lot of time now that I graduated and have more time reading books and stuff, which I just never felt like I had the time or like mental energy to do during school. But just being able to read books for pleasure and learn about new topics, and like continue actively learning, even if it's not for a grade, has been really, it's been really fun because it's just all in my own doing. So I feel like that's really helped me fill up my cup.
Excellent. Great answers. There's another chat question. What was your favorite CASC class?
I can go first. So I need to remember the exact name. I think it was like it was like community empowerment through the arts. I took it like my last semester of college, and it was like great class. We got to do volunteering with elementary school students, and it was about like kind of community empowerment through the arts and theater and stuff, which I wasn't like really familiar with, but it was a ton of fun. And just being able to get out in the community every single week and do volunteering and like working with kids was really enjoyable. And like everyone in that class was super great, and there's like still some people I connected with after that class when I was here, so it was just, I really enjoyed that class.
And then that sounds like a great class, Amanda. I'm jealous. Why didn't you tell me? I'm joking. But I'm gonna echo her answer with Psych 325. That was a great class for me. It's similar in its function, is that you go out to volunteer and then you come back to the classroom setting and you do a lot of reflection and you do a lot of like reading in order to have a better understanding of the populations that you're volunteering with. So I really recommend Psych 325. And then obviously I love the capstone because of Joseph.
Are there other questions that folks have? Amelia?
Yeah, I'm trying to think how to best phrase this question, but after you left CASC and started exploring the real world, for lack of a better term, was there any sort of lesson that you feel like came to the surface that maybe you hadn't fully processed from CASC, or you felt like was missing from the certain classes that you took? Like any new realizations, or things that finally clicked for the first time?
That's a great question, Amelia. I guess like, and I'll attempt to answer it. I guess for me, something that I didn't realize was, especially going from a college campus to the real world, is maybe like how people like tired people are, or like how I'm looking for a way to phrase this now too, but I'll use my sister for example. My sister has been a lawyer for about like 8, 9 years now. And so whenever I have these conversations about Palestine, it's like she's so jaded, if that makes sense. Like people are really jaded. And then another one of my sisters is a psychiatrist right now, and she's also really jaded. And it's like burnout is real. And when people get burnt out, they're not as, they find it takes a lot more energy to care, if that makes sense. It takes a lot more energy to go through your day to day and then find the time to be to be aware. And so I think that's kind of what I'm most worried about, is that idea of being burnt out and then just being another cog in the machine. And so I think it's really important that once you leave the campus space, that you really do intertwine yourself into the communities that you care about and then make yourself like part of that community. And I think that's a great way to also avoid burnout in fighting for these causes that you care about. And so that's what I guess that's what I'm slowly learning, is that if you really want to be engaged, you have to be there. Like you have to be there consistently and you have to be there with intention. And so because it's very easy to lose it. You know, it's very easy to lose that that fire in your heart. And I've seen it with my own family, and I've seen it with like my own friends. And so it's really hard to survive, you know? And so like in surviving, we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to make sure that we show up. And so that's what I would say. That's what I would say I would really learn.
Yeah, that's a great question you asked. But I think something for me is like all the systemic issues we talked about in CAS classes. We saw them like play out in like probably like our own lives and in the university setting, but they are definitely still replicated in the workforce and when to like leave school and across disciplines. It like doesn't matter what career you're in, it's still going to be relevant. Like your CASC, I think the minor can be applied to literally any major, and that's what we're told, but I totally think it's true. And just talking to my friends that all work in totally different career fields and had different paths in life now, we have still a lot of things in common from what we've experienced at work or what we've heard about or seen others. And so that's why I just think I realized that like the knowledge and like kind of soft skills I gained from this was still really relevant and kind of helps me and like helps me be mindful and think every day. I think I also just realized that I had to be more intentional about being active in learning, like being active in my community, learning about the community I'm part of, and like doing like social justice and community service work, because it's not going to just, you're not going to a facilitated class discussion twice a week that people are going to open and talk about it. You have to be more active and either like just have the conversations with people around you or do like reading by yourself or talk about it at like at your place of work. So I think that was something that I thought of when I graduated.
Great. Really good answers. There's a chat question from Olga. What's the most important thing you learned during your time at CAS?
I can go for this one. I guess like for me, I guess the most important thing was to have fun with it. I mean, it sounds wrong, but it's like you have to enjoy the work in order to do a good job. You have to find your purpose in the work in order to do a good job. And I guess again, it's like this idea of avoiding burnout and being consistent is you have to enjoy what you're doing and you have to find a reason why you enjoy doing it. And so that's it. I guess CASC really gave me that opportunity to find that reason and to enjoy the work and to want to be a part of it. So
Yeah, I think one of the activities we did in 401 was we heard from like a lot of historical, really well-known people in like the social justice field and read from books and stuff and like their perspectives on this field. And I thought that was really cool how they all different ways of approaching like similar issues or social justice issues. And they all had different paths and ways they did it. I feel like that can be applied to like us. There's not like one way you have to do this work or one career path you have to take. And it just like showed me that there's like lots of different ways that I could make an impact, and it's like not going to be as big as them, but like there's different small ways. So I think that's something I try to keep in mind.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or comments before I pose the very last question? All right, so the last thing I just wanted to ask you is, do you have a favorite memory? Like a specific conversation that maybe you had, or an activity that you did with CASC that you can just leave us with?
I can go. I won't ramble about like 325, so I'll find something else. But in the capstone, I really enjoyed, there was one activity we did, a group activity where we did timelines, our own timelines of how we came to this work and why we care about being socially aware. And it was really cool to hear the stories of my peers and why they care about the things that they do. And so I think that's one of my favorite memories, is seeing what brought people at U of M to this work, and also being able to reflect on my own journey into this work. So I think that's what I would say.
Great. Yeah, I would take it back to the community empowerment class. At the end of the class, we all had to show kind of what we learned in a creative way. And so like some people did poems or music or acting and stuff. And it was just really fun to see like all my classmates that I've gotten to know over the whole semester and like showcase their creative talents. And I kind of like also learned more about them through what they were showing, and kind of similar to the CASC capstone we did. So I just thought that was really cool, and just that I was able to connect with classmates so much more than I would have in like a different class, because we were talking about more serious things in the class.
Well, thank you both so much for your time this morning. It was wonderful to have you all with us. Was there another hand or last comment or anything? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Thank you so much. If everyone could kind of just take themselves off mute or show their appreciation with little reactions with emojis, or just say thank you to Amanda and Barack for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if folks would like to stay on, I will stay on the Zoom to field any questions about the capstone that we have next week. But thank you so much, Amanda and Barack, and I will be in touch very shortly with both of you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. It was nice meeting everyone.
All right. So I just wanted to check in with folks to see if you have any questions about your capstone that we'll be doing next week. I did see several emails or get emails from folks with, you know, kind of like questioning if different things were, if they could do different activities, which all those emails and requests looked really good. But if you wanted to run something by, or if you have a general question about the capstone, I'd love to talk about that right now.
I have a quick question about mine really quickly.
Yeah.
So I know I emailed you about like making like a playlist. So
Yes.
with that, like, it's gonna be like, probably like obviously like, a deliverable too. So like probably like a short description paragraph for each song or whatever that I choose.
Okay.
Is it okay that it's in a Word document, or do you want me to put it in like a presentation format?
No, it's fine that it's in a Word document.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
However you would like to, however it feels most organic for you to present it, is absolutely fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Hi. I was sick during our last in-person class. I know it was a couple weeks ago. I wanted to check in about like what exactly, like, I know my capstone project, but like a little bit about how like the next class will go and how like presentations will be done.
Okay, so for the presentations, we will actually just be going around. So you can either use the projector to kind of show, like you can send it to me ahead of time and I'll make sure they're all queued up. And then when it's your turn to kind of do your short presentation, there'll be 2 to 5 minutes. Then I can bring it up on the screen, or if you have something that you want to share and show, then you can just have that. You don't have to have a presentation. It's also fine if you just want to talk about it, or if you have a poem that you're reading it. Sometimes folks have had songs, so if you want to just sing it, that's fine as well. So everyone will have a chance. But if you do want to share something on the screen, just make sure you send it to me, preferably an hour before class starts. Thank you. That was a great, fine question.
Yeah, thank you. My only other question was, is there anything that we needed to submit for the interview stuff we were, like, I was watching the panel. Is there anything we needed to submit for that? Because
So if you
didn't see it.
watch, yep, so it's a short reflection. So it should be about half a page to a page.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey Diana, is there an assignment made on Canvas for that reflection? Because I didn't see one, so I didn't submit mine.
Okay, I will make sure that there is one. I think I may have just talked about it in class and not put it up on Canvas. So I will make sure that that description is up there. And then there's also a space to turn it in.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions?
They pretty much asked all of my questions, so I was just sitting around for the answers. Thanks, Diana. See you soon.
Perfect. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, everyone. And I will stay here if you wanted to ask something one-on-one as well.
I wanted to ask a really quick one-on-one question. I was just about to send you an email. So I missed the class that was submitting the capstone proposal, and I thought that we were just like coming up with it in our heads, so I didn't submit that assignment. Um, and I don't know if there's anything I need to do to make that up. I'm really sorry. I know what I'm gonna do, but
No, you're fine. You do not need to do anything else. It was more of like submitting it. We had a chance in class for folks to get into small groups and to brainstorm their ideas.
okay.
So that was mostly I don't think anyone actually turned it in unless they wanted my feedback.
Okay.
If you would like feedback, I'm happy to give it to you now. Or
Yes. I was planning on making a collage. I'm a
Great.
big collager, so I just was like wanting to do something that like showed like my experience through that.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good.
Okay, awesome.
I love that idea. I love a good collage.
I'm a big collage person.
Yeah, I find it to be very therapeutic as well.
Me too.
Yeah,
Okay,
sounds
cool. Thank you so much.
sure thing. I'll see you next week.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Hi, Andrea. Did you just come in?
Hi, yes.
Hi, were you booted out earlier or did you just come in a little bit late?
I came in a little bit late.
Okay, no problem at all. I'm sorry if you were waiting because I didn't see you until because I was asking questions of the panelists. The panel was pretty short. I think it was just about half an hour. I recorded it. So as soon as it's processed through Zoom, I will put it up in the module for this week in case you want to go back and look at it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It was a short class today.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and we have our capstone presentations next week. Did you have any questions about that?
Where would I find more information on it on Canvas?
So on Canvas, it will be under the capstone assignment, but I can also just tell you really briefly. So
Yeah.
it's any kind of expression of your experience in CASC. So the type of projects that folks have done before is they've written a poem about their experience. Someone's doing a collage. Another person is creating a playlist. People have, written poems, written songs, created some piece of art that kind of expressed what their main takeaway is from their time at CASC.
Okay. So is it just a presentation kind of on the artifact assignment?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what it is. The artifact is the capstone. So same thing. Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
No. Absolutely. I think you have so much going on with each of your classes. It's always good to just kind of like double check now what's what.
Yeah. No, thank you so much.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you next week.
How long is the presentation supposed to be?
2 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
So pretty short. And then if you want to share something on the big screen, like if you have a short presentation or like a picture, or like you want to, if you made a collage and you took a picture of it, just make sure I have it an hour ahead of time so I can queue it up when it's your turn to share.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep, absolutely. See you next week.
See you. Have a great one.
You too. Bye-bye.